All right, so we're going to cross over live to my colleague, Wendy Lai, who's on standby. But the president-elect of the Gambia, Adama Barrow, has indicated on his Facebook timeline that on January 18, exactly midnight, 530 soldiers from Senegal, 600 from Ghana, 100 peace envoys from Sierra Leone, 1,000 ECOMAG soldiers from Nigeria, and 200 special commandos from France, the UK, and Germany. All right, so let's go live to my colleague Wendy Lai, who's on standby with Dr. Kwesi Enin. Wendy?
Jame, if he refuses to hand power to President-elect Adama Barrow on Thursday. Now, already thousands of UK and Dutch tourists are being evacuated from the Gambia. Thank you very much indeed, Kwesi. And this evening, I do have Dr. Emmanuel Kwesi Enin, Director, Faculty of Academic Affairs and Research at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, to delve a lot more and talk about the situation in the Gambia. Good afternoon, Doc, and thanks for your time.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, first of all, I would want to ask you, how do we explain what has happened?
Well, I think the explanation is fairly straightforward. West African leaders have failed West African citizens, first in terms of demanding that members of the West African Heads of States Club accede to and comply with the regulation that they have signed on to. So, as Mr. Jame refuses to hand over power, if we get into the psychology of Mr. Jame, his argument is, look guys, but you are my friends. I haven't done anything different. I've been doing this all the time, stealing elections, killing people, threatening people, driving my citizens away. Why are you now telling me to hand over power? This is what I've been doing for 22 years. So Mr. Jame is quite upset with the rest of West Africa. Unfortunately, this time round, we will not allow him to get away with it. He's flouted the rules. He's not read the conventions and the protocols that he has signed up to. And he must be driven out of power, and ECOWAS will drive him out of power.
And building on what you said regarding ECOWAS, what do you think of a likelihood of a military intervention in the Gambia?
I don't think there's a likelihood. There is a certainty that ECOWAS will intervene. ECOWAS must intervene because the normative framework that ECOWAS has developed over time based on the political principles, the revised ECOWAS Treaty Article 58, the Protocol on Conflict Prevention, Conflict Resolution, the ECOWAS Conflict Prevention Framework, all enjoins member states to uphold the norms and the values business with. Jame is a man we ought not to have done business with. It is up to West Africa's leaders to redeem their self-respect by ensuring that the normative frameworks that we have agreed to are implemented. And particularly for Ghana, this is very interesting. Several years ago, Mr. Jame murdered about 44 Ghanaians. He murdered them under the pretext that they were mercenaries. But these were just ordinary, hard-working, decent Ghanaian fishermen who paid taxes. And they happened when President Akufo-Addo was the foreign minister. And I think this is the time once more for Ghana to take the lead in ensuring that what is right for the people of Ghana 9 years ago is right for the people of the Gambia.
In talking about what is right, some other countries are asking their nationals to leave the Gambia.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard anything when it comes to Ghana.
Yeah.
And again, talking about what is right, what do we do as a country?
Well, I think because Ghana will be part of sending the troops into the Gambia, it's imperative, and I hope this has been done. If it has not been done, then somebody must be sacked. It's imperative that somebody either in intelligence, in NADMO, or in Jubilee House ought to have said, because we will be part of an intervention force, how do we get our people out of the Gambia? And there's nothing, this is not rocket science. When Nigeria kicked us out of Nigeria twice, Mr. Rawlings organized a flotilla of boats and people in this country who received the refugees who came back. We've done the same thing with respect to Cote d'Ivoire. We did it with respect to Liberia. So there's a history to how effective we are as a nation in getting our people out of trouble spots. We did it in Libya, through Egypt. Okay, we have a history to this. So I think this is something that we need to be raising. What is government doing to ensure that Ghanaians who have lived in the Gambia for all these years can be brought back home safely? Because knowing the character that Jammeh is and the levels of his psychological instability, all the countries that are intending to contribute troops to the intervention, he will isolate their citizens and attempt to murder them. We also saw it in Liberia. Charles Taylor did the same thing. So there's a history, we have the experience, we shouldn't allow it to happen. Otherwise, government has to give us an answer.
Thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel Kwesi Enin. He is the Director, Faculty of Research at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. We're talking a lot more about the happenings in the Gambia. Over to you, Kwesi.
All right, thank you very much, Wendy Lai, for those updates from the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Center. She was speaking to the director, Dr. Kwesi Enin, on latest happenings in the Gambia.